Shit, I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. We're literally in a week or two, we're hitting our 3-year anniversary since opening our
When's the
doors.
anniversary, actually? I don't know.
December 18th.
Yeah.
December 18th was your 3-year mark, so it's crazy.
I might be in Vegas.
Wait, what'd you
You
say?
might be what?
Vegas?
You might be what?
Yeah, I'm here supporting you.
Yo, yo, yo. This is your host, Eric. Welcome to In the Neighborhood.
I'm your other host, Jaclyn.
And I am your other host, Bryan. To my right, we have a special guest.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Ryan.
Alright, so first things first, what is neighborhood market?
Neighborhood market. Alright. Neighborhood. We started off as a vintage store out in Alhambra in 2020 during COVID. I started a store out there because I was really passionate about vintage and I really wanted to kind of provide affordable vintage in the community. And that's when I was like going to like, no hate, but like I was going to like round 2 and stuff like that. And I saw how overpriced all the vintage was back then. So I really wanted to provide a space where people can get, you know, affordable vintage and very curated vintage at the same time. And then we're actually called Vintage Hype in Alhambra. So that's how I met Jaclyn and Bryan. Came into the store asking for a job. I was like, okay. But we're called Vintage Hype before, and a year and a half into it, we decided to relocate and rebrand into Neighborhood Market. And this is where our home is now in Fullerton, California.
Why did you start like a vintage business though, instead of like any other business that you could have started?
So in 2020, I actually got out of the military. I did like 3 years active duty and came back home. It was the peak of COVID. Couldn't find a job to save my life. I was working as a busboy at Phung.
You worked at Din Tai Fung?
Yeah, I worked at Phung. You guys didn't know that? Wait,
You
what?
didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I worked at Phung for like a month or two. And I started working when I was 14 years old. So like, when I got out of the military, I couldn't find a job to save my life. So I kind of felt like I was like depressed because I was like, damn, like I ain't doing anything, you know? So I swear to you, I applied to hundreds of jobs, and the only place that called me back was freaking Din Tai Fung from like Beverly Hills. And like, keep in mind, I was living in St. Gabriel, so like I was driving an hour to work, just to get what, $15 an hour, dude. It was tough, but COVID went on again, and then LA had to shut down everything, so I lost my job in just a month of working as a busboy there.
It's tough.
So then I was unemployed again. I was like, damn, all right, might as well, you know, try to start my own business. And I've always wanted to start my own business. And I started like a small little clothing brand in high school. My friend Mickey.
What was it called, bro?
It was called
Simp Apparel, bro.
Was it one of the shirts on the racks?
Yeah, dude, a long time ago. Simp Apparel. That was. I started it with my 2 homies, Mickey and they. Yeah, and then that's where I got my like drive for like starting a business and stuff like that, and continued a little bit while I was in the military. But I was kind of like pushing out like pretty ass like clothing, if I'm gonna be honest with you, you know. But yeah, let's get back to that. I lost my job again, and then I really wanted to start my business, and I just said, why not? And I've been into that vintage, and I was able to find a lot of wholesalers within LA to kind of help me upstart that process.
But why open a business during COVID though, when like the economy was really trash?
Because if I wasn't gonna do it now, then I was never gonna do it.
What makes you say that?
Because I felt like my drive was way more stronger when I was younger, I guess I could say. And I was young. I started when I was 21. Literally building a store. Like I have videos of me like breaking a wooden or like a brick wall or something like that. And it was tough, but I don't regret it.
It wasn't because you had hella free time away.
Shit. I guess you could say it like that, but nah, I was actually really passionate about vintage, and I've always wanted to start my business. And you know, when I told my mom about this too, she was like, "You're gonna sell used clothing? Like what?" Like she's like, "You're not."
Crazy.
She's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Like, and like she'd come into my room and me like tagging all the freaking vintage clothing, and like she'll be like, "Damn, you can sell that for like $35-$40?" I was like, "Yeah, mom, don't worry." So it was crazy. It's a process.
Well, I mean, now you're almost like 3 years into this business now, and we've
Yeah.
relocated like once. What have you learned from like owning a business so far? Just like how it's affected you as a person to this day.
Honestly, I think it was probably. So I did 3 years active in the military, and then 3 years in the National Guard. And out of my 6 years in the military, starting a business was one of the most stressful and most like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I think for me, it's just you really have to have persistence and like just be going at it. Like 3 years down the line, we're hitting our 3-year mark now, and like I can't really say that this is a very successful company. Like I'm still going through the grits and grinds. So I think as long as you keep going for it and like as long as you're passionate about it, still like 3 years, 10 plus years into it, then that's something that I think says a lot. Yes.
And do you think you're gonna keep at this business for a long time, or like where do you see this business going besides just having a storefront?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I want to grow it into the community, and like our saying is like for the community by the community, and we really want to have a space where we really curate and bring people in together, and that's why we host like flea markets, we host pop-up events, car meets, a whole bunch of different things to try to bring people in together. But eventually I really want to grow it into like a second or third location and like expand the community, not just here in Fullerton, but really touch different aspects of the country, and really grow it into something else more than just a clothing store. I think that's pretty shallow for me to just say like I just want this to be a clothing store, a clothing business, period. I really want to grow a community, and I think I'm really passionate about that.
I mean, it's funny that you use the word community because it's how we actually got together, like all us friends. Because like that's how we started back in Vintage Hype. Was we were not doing what we were doing now, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know Bryan right now is the owner of Gallery Stills. No.
He was an 18-year-old when I met him. He came into the Vintage Hype asking for a job like a little puppy.
So can you tell us a little bit?
That's crazy.
No,
You even got the sound guy cracking up, bro. That's crazy.
The sound guy? You just gonna
Shout
call him
out
the
the
sound
boy
guy,
Dil-
bro?
Bro, this guy's
Dude, give him a shout out, bro.
Shout out Dilson, broke screen, whatever,
That's blood.
whatever. But he goes by 2 names. That's how crazy he is. We should give him the rundown on how we all met, the origin
No,
story.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. So,
Oh, no.
I opened Vintage Hype, right?
Yep.
And I opened Vintage Hype, and it was a good first month, and I had one of the homies, Ray, actually make a TikTok for me. He goes by Daddy Dumpling, if you know him. But he made a TikTok for me, and me and him, we go way back since like middle school. Yeah, middle school. And he made a TikTok for me because he was like trying to be like an up and coming influencer. He's like, he reached out to me, hey, can I make a TikTok of your store? Because he saw on my personal story that I was like building a store, and I'm literally like building a store, like with my hands,
You gonna build it with your feet, bro?
I'll be building the store, and he came out and actually did a TikTok for us, and it blew up like within the week prior to us opening. It blew up, and I didn't expect social media to be that powerful, and it really is, and it blew up, and I think that's how you guys probably found out about it, was through TikTok, because you said one of your friends sent it to you.
I saw a TikTok and I was like, oh, there's like a store, like a vintage store opening in Alhambra out of all places. Because in Alhambra, there's like nothing like out there. I mean, right now there's a cute little shop called Homebody 66, right?
Shout out Homebody 66.
But it was like super cute. But like back then, there was nothing like that.
No, I mean there was the attic and
That's
Soul Stage,
true. Oh,
but
yeah,
that was
you're
like
right. That was like before our time.
yeah, that was like.
For real.
But they realized that the demographic wasn't it, so they probably moved out instantly. I mean, there's a lot of good food areas in the 66, but not really
That's all
like.
we're fucking known for, bro.
Yeah, there's really nothing much, man. So that's why when I started a vintage store, I was like, I want to start it like kind of around my hometown where I grew up, and so that TikTok blew up, and then they both actually came to my store on grand opening, and like met Jaclyn, but I didn't really know her. I just met her, and then we glanced at each other, but we had that connection.
Keyword glanced.
We had that connection with each other. But all right, and then Bryan just literally comes into the store like asking for a job, and I knew was your uncle, your uncle.
Let's say cousin. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But, I didn't find out about the store through TikTok though. I found about it through Aaron, through my cousin. Because you guys were homies for a little bit, right? Still are.
Yeah, here and there.
Here and there.
He had a clothing brand called like Versatile. I thought in high school that thing was like fire, bro. Like,
Yeah, that thing was huge in the
Versatile,
60s.
bro.
Yeah. But I found out with VH Vintage Hype through my cousin Aaron. And then I kind of just pulled up to the store one day and asked for a job because I had nothing to do. And I needed some side money. And here we are today.
Yeah. And I posted on like story. I was like, we had a really great, successful first month, you know, and like I couldn't hide the fact that we were actually like we were eating good, you know, the first month.
Line out the door.
So like yeah, we had a line for like I don't know how long. Like I didn't even expect that. So after that, the first month, I was like, damn, like if we're gonna be like growing this big, like I need a team to kind of help support me, and like that's when I kind of posted on my social media, like oh, like you know, I'm hiring, like who's interested, let me know, email me your resumes, and then out of everyone that emailed me their resumes, I picked my beloved.
How was your interview for you? Because mine was super awkward.
Oh.
Like I was like thinking, like giving like really good answers, but like I saw his notes later on, and he like wrote the most shallow shit ever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Don't even-
I was like literally about, he's like, why do you want to work here and what does community mean to you, right? And for me, I don't come from like a community with like a bunch of Asian people. So when I came to 66, it was like a culture shock. And then I was talking about community and what it means, yada, yada, yada. And then he just put 2 words for the whole spiel that I went on.
What were the 2 words?
It was ABG, UCR. I was like, okay. I mean, I got the job, but like,
okay,
that's
I
crazy,
had 2
bro.
other homies interview with me, and like
I didn't even know what that meant
I
at
wasn't
the
the one
time.
note taking. I was really the one just like asking the questions, and they were note taking.
No, and he deadass shook my hand during COVID too, and I was like, I don't want to shake that.
We had
Low-key.
hand sanitizer on the table, honey, and I offered you hand sanitizer. Like after we shook hands, like we're wearing masks, we're being safe. Like,
But yeah,
fuck
how was
COVID.
your interview for
I mean,
you, though?
I low-key straight up got interrogated, bro. That shit was kind of scary.
It was a
because
group
interrogated,
interview.
Yeah, I wouldn't say interrogated, but I walked into the store. It's a pretty big-ass store. It was like, I don't know what the square footage on it was, but it was pretty big. And it had
was
high
high
ceilings. Kind of reminds you of like a...
Jail cell, bro.
Why you gotta make it sound like that, bro?
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a... It's just like a big industrial space, high ceilings and everything, and the lights were off when I walked
The lights
in.
were off, right? That
The
was
lights
what
were
got
off.
me, and it was locked.
And,
And I just saw like just eyes looking at.
No, because when we first opened, we're like, dude, there's natural lighting in here. Why would we turn on the fucking
was
light
dark.
at 12 p.m.? Like, the fuck? I'm wasting electricity. But then, like, going into it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have turned on the lights. It looked a lot more vibrant, you know?
Anyways, I walked in. It was dark, and I was like, and I was also running late, low key. Like, I was probably on the maps. I said I don't know what time my interview was. Let's say it was at like noon, right? My map said I'd pull up at like 12:05, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not getting this job. I got it. So I was speeding on the freeway, pulled up, got there right at 12, walked in the door. It's dark. There's a table in the middle of the store. Eric's sitting in the middle of the table with his 2 other homies on the side with computers, and then
Did
the
he walk
interview
up to
went-
you? Did he walk up to you and shake your hand?
I'm pretty sure you probably
I don't
did.
think so.
Was this
I
the
did,
one-
I did, though. I'm pretty sure.
You probably.
Because I
did.
opened the door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
This is
but
when there was
yeah.
nothing in the store. It's just
No,
a
there-
table.
No, it was clothing racks.
No, it was like
We were already open by then.
Yeah.
It was just like a Tuesday that we were closed.
I'm like picturing like it's just empty and it's just a table in the middle.
Oh no,
What am I walking?
no, he
into?
was open already.
Yeah.
But I walked in, did the interview, you know, answered some questions and all that, and then and then a couple of days later I got hired. So that was pretty cool.
Hey,
Pulled up in some
My
sandals to the
goodness.
interview.
Yeah, because I
Birks.
asked him, I was like, dress to the interview like you would
Work
if you
here.
were working here or
Yeah.
something like that, so I can kind of gauge. There were people that were like, "Oh, dude, I got this from H&M." Look, and then he'll be like, this fool like pulled up his shirt. He's like, "Yo, I bought this shirt from you." I'm like, okay, bro, like that's cool.
Wait, did I ever tell you
Thanks
how
for
I
the
got
support.
Did I ever tell you how I got the position? I wasn't even supposed to work like as a like a sales associate. I was supposed to like help him get the inventory. So he
She's
calls
supposed to
me.
be digging with me.
No,
bro.
he calls me, bro, like late at night, and he's like, "I have
Late
like,
at night?
I have a He goes, "I have a proposition for you," which sounds like sketchy as hell too. And then he was like, "Do you want to do inventory?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Like you're helping me
Yeah,
source.
well, I
You're
know
supposed to be
now,
kind of
but,
like
Bro
my
got
right
that
hand
boss
man.
whiz. It's like what you doing right now.
What's up, baby
I need help
girl?
with
Wait, y'all gotta let them know what's going on here. 'cause
Oh
they
yeah,
don't know.
that's
They
my
don't know.
that's my yo boy. That's
No.
my right hand girl. You know, my everything. Mayobo. That means wife in
Oh,
Korean.
my fault.
And then we've been together for
Trilingual, my fault, G.
almost 3 years now.
We should tell them how
Yeah.
it started. How it all started.
She worked for me, and then we hung out a lot all the time. We're drinking at fucking Vintage Hype a
She
lot.
worked for me. It's crazy.
And then like,
No, you should tell them how
You
it
were
started
like-
with a text,
Don't
bro.
come work here, y'all.
okay, yeah. I mean, I liked her, and like I brought her home to the family, and like I like cooked steak.
When
and
we
shit.
were friends too.
Okay. And then that night I dropped her off. I sent her a massive ass text. I really don't have riz. Like, I'm being real. Like, I can't talk to people at all. And like, I be stuttering too. So.
Motherfucker said I feel conflicted.
And
And I was like, about what?
That's the fix.
About what?
I'm just, being genuine. I'm being true. I'm being honest.
No, dead ass though. I didn't respond because I was like, if I don't say yes, do I get fired? No, dead ass though.
It was one of those texts I sent, and then like I just threw my phone and it was like, all right, we'll go about my day.
When'd you send that? Like early in the day?
It was like late
it
at
was
night.
late at night.
And then when I didn't respond for like 30 minutes, he was like, yeah. Dot 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 dot.
I double texted.
Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, going back to Bryan though, because I met you when you're like a photographer and you're like hella young, right?
I was, wait, was I 17?
You were
You're
18.
Yeah.
You were 18,
Yeah,
bro.
so I was 18 when I applied.
Young, bro. Young buck, bro.
Chill.
What you want, bro?
Relax, dude.
18, bro, make sure you know it.
I was.
Let him
That's
speak.
great.
Let him speak though.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was 18 though when I got the job at VH Vintage Hype. I was a photographer, just photo. I don't think it was anything serious yet either when it came to, I guess like my career.
But what made
Yet.
you want to like kind of shift into owning a clothing brand from like photography?
Yeah, actually owning a clothing brand came from photography just because as I was shooting photos a lot of nights, it slowly got more serious. I was starting to do a lot of shooting for clothing brands like shout out Martin, San Juan, and just a whole other brands that kind of just branched off into fashion. And then I was like, I got kind of burnt from photo for a little bit, so I was like, yo, let me experiment with making some clothing. And then that's kind of where we're at now. That's kind of the main reason why I own the clothing brand and why I enjoy clothing so much.
I'm so
Wait,
confused.
before tell the origin story. Of
That's what I was gonna ask you right now, like the origin
Oh,
of galleries,
dude.
because I thought you were gonna do it with Eric and some other person. Right?
Alright.
Matt Opena, then some other
Matt,
person. Matt
Matt,
Opena
yeah.
285.
Yeah. So origin story, Gallery Stills. It's the clothing brand. If y'all didn't know, my clothing brand. But it wasn't a clothing brand when that idea first started. It was supposed to be a design studio. So let's say you had an idea in your head and you didn't know how to graphic design it. Yo, you could come to us and we could graphic design it. You really like the way it looks. You want to put it on some merch. We can print it for you. We screen print in house. It looked really cool on a shirt. Shit, we shoot photos and do video. So we could do your little marketing rollout. So it's basically a one-stop shop for like anybody's creative needs. And I was running that with Matt behind the camera and Eric. And we was doing that for a little bit. And then I was kind of like,
That's crazy, bro. You didn't even say me.
No, he just
dude,
he just
you
flat
were-
out kicked
dude,
him out.
You were sucking dick, bro. Like,
Me?
dude.
What the
We're
fuck?
not even talking about you yet. Relax, okay?
By the time
Dude,
you
stop.
was
Bro was sitting here.
Bro,
he was
just-
18. He was 18.
Oh.
Like, bro, I don't know, bro. Shit.
by the time you introduced to it, it was over, bro.
I know. I was
I
there for
know.
2 days.
okay, Bryan was there for 2 days.
Whatever, bro.
But yeah, and then, fast forwarding a little bit, I kind of was like, yeah, I don't really like dealing with other people's, not issues, but like, I don't know what the right word for it is.
Like, what made you want to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this myself and not with anyone?
I think also a big reason that played into that was just because I feel like all of us too, like Eric, Matt, and I, and Ryan, we was all starting to get kind of serious into like our other like solo careers, like Matt doing his video thing, graphic thing, and then Eric kind of focusing on the store. So it's always kind of hard to make certain time for different projects and stuff. And also the fact that, customer service, it's not for everyone. And, it's kind of boring sometimes or frustrating.
That's true.
So after we did a couple gigs and like dealing with other people's orders for like printing shirts and stuff like that, it's kind of just something that I didn't really like anymore. So we kind of disbanded after that and then went on to our own little solo careers. Eric with Neighborhood Market, and then Matt was doing his own little creative stuff on the side, graphic design, video. And then we're kind of here now. Just turned it back into a clothing brand for the most part.
I actually like the name though, Gallery Stills. Like, where'd you get it from? Or did you just kind of like toggle with the words for a bit?
So I had on my notes. I was actually with Donnie at Donnie's the homie, my roommate. Shout out Donnie. He makes music. We were at Banana Bay. It was just us two. It was pretty late. I think it was like midnight or something. And we were just getting some grub because we were just hungry. And I was talking to him about the idea of like starting a brand. So I had a whole bunch of different like titles, brand names under my notes section, and I was like just telling them off one by one to Donnie and see which one he liked the most. So I had like, obviously I had Gallery Stills, I had like Gallery of Stills, I had a whole bunch of different variations of the two words. But the reason why I chose those two words was because I was also working in like film a little bit. So if y'all didn't know what a still is, it's basically if you watch like a Justin Bieber music video and you screenshotted one scene from the music video, that's like a still.
Oh, okay.
Why Justin Bieber?
Sorry, I don't.
It's the best example you
bad,
could get.
My bad. Anyways, that's what like the term stills means. So, and then the way I kind of looked at my perspective of life was like, life is basically just like a gallery of stills. Like every day when you walk, when you're just living. That's kind of where the name came from. It's honestly not that crazy. It was just kind of like.
I actually fuck with it from the beginning. I was like, yo, this is dope.
It was fire.
Yeah.
I was sad to be actually disbanded, honestly.
He told me too. He's like, you know what Bryan just did? And I was like,
Bryan just kicked me out. And like at that time, it was us four in the group chat, and then like, and that time before Bryan, he didn't even talk about Clubhouse era. Like he like was an OG guy of like Clubhouse. And like he started something else. We can talk about the fucking many business ventures we wanted to try to do, bro.
Before Gallery Stills, there was a thing called Clubhouse Collection.
Yeah.
Need Dylan here for that one.
Yeah. But everyone was like telling him like, nah, you should do it your own because like you've been working, in a team for a while. And I was like, I swear to God, I was like the only one. I was like, nah, I think it would be cool working in a team because I was like low key jealous. I was like, these fools like doing Clubhouse, like I want to be a part of something too, like. So I was like, damn. And everyone was like, nah, you should do it on your own. I was like, damn, but I thought this was cool, We did like 3 pop-ups before we disbanded like that, and like, man, we had uniform studios out there, like that was crazy as a first pop-up, like as nobodies, like we're like, damn.
We packed up the store and we probably had like 500 people in and out throughout the 4 hours.
Yeah, that was not COVID, approved, bro, at all.
We was moving like this through the crowd, like we were swimming through the crowd. It was crazy.
it's like a rave. Like, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess backtracking a little bit before Gallery Stills, we kind of started the thing with Dylan called Clubhouse Collection, and it was also like a clothing brand, and then it turned into like a whole like film production company.
Okay.
That basically I'm not gonna go deep into it because it's so sporadic.
Yeah. I just remember Eric telling me, he's like, yo, like he unfollowed me from Gallery Stills account. And I was like, that's funny as fuck.
You texted me about that shit.
Yeah. He was so salty about it for like a week.
Yeah. And then that was when we just got Ryan on board to do Gallery Stills.
Hey, Ryan, explain your first day at Clubhouse, bro.
My first day at Clubhouse?
You got introduced to us, bro. This is your origin story now.
Dog, my first day at Clubhouse, bro. I texted, I think, what was it? It was like during nighttime. I texted Matt, I was like, yo, bro, like, when can I like pull up to the stew? Because like before I met him, before that, me and him was talking at a parking lot till like 3 a.m, just chopping it up.
The stew is Clubhouse.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, bro, like my homie's got a studio up in Alhambra.
Elamante,
type. And I was like, oh, what? Like, this is like my first time like hearing any of this. I'm just like, mind blown. You feel me? So,
I got you.
so I texted him one. I'm like, yo, like, when can I slide? And then he was like, bro, honestly, you can slide right now. So my ass from OC, from Westminster, bro, which was like what, maybe like a 40-minute drive up to El Monte. I was like, bet. Hopped in the car, it was like 10 p.m. Pulled up.
Without traffic.
Yeah, without traffic. 10:40. Pulled up. I parked in the parking lot on the side, and I'm like, when I parked, there's no one out there. And then, not even 2 minutes, I'm texting Matt. I'm like, yo, bro, like I'm here. No answer, right? Like, and then I see a bunch of people come out the door, and I'm just like, ain't no way this is it. Ain't no way this is like what I'm pulling up to right now. Matt's like, oh yeah, just walk to the front. Walk up to the front. Takes me inside, bro. I walk in there. There's like, because the stew was like long, right? So Matt's like in the corner doing some like like graphic design stuff. There's like a photo shoot happening with Ray. I think Jasmine's shooting on like a white backdrop. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is this? And I go to Matt, and I was like, yeah, but I'm just like, looking on this. He's showing me himself. I'm like, cool. And he's like, oh yeah, let me take you to the back. Let me show you around. Bro takes me to the bro takes me out, like walks me out, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? Lo and behold, they're shooting a whole music video right now, right then. And I walk out, and then he brings me to Dylan, and then Dylan's like, what producing? He's like, getting everybody right, and he was hanging out wife beaters at the time.
Was this for West Patrick?
Yeah, this is for West Patrick. Yeah, for Uzi. And like everybody's supposed to be in like white beaters and like black pants. So I had black shorts on. I'm like I'm not even wearing the fit. I just had black shorts on. He's like, yo, bro, nice to meet you. Like, you wanna be in the music video? I'm like, I can't be a buster. Like, this is one I want to get into. Like, I can't just say no. So I'm just like, oh yeah, fuck it, bro. Like, not knowing nothing, bro. I put on the beater, hop outside, and they throw me in there. I'm just like, and they're just like tearing shit. Like, just
bro, we got like 2 trash cans and we lit it on fire and we got people throwing chairs and shit in the back.
Bro, and I was like, what?
We gotta put up the still in the video.
Nah, yeah, for real.
Thumbnail.
It was lit. Like, I was like smashing a TV with a 2x4. Like, but like in the beginning, they're like, don't hit it too hard. I'm like, all right. I'm just over here like, just like trying to whack it, but not really whack it.
You had the most NPC form.
Oh God, play the clip. Not play the clip. But yeah, bro. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, bro, Matt, what the fuck? Like, you just threw me in this shit. Like, I don't know. Nobody here. Not a soul. I knew Devin. Shout out Devin. Where's Devin? But nah, yeah, I didn't know anybody there. I'm just sort of like trying to chop it up with people. Like, just it was just crazy, and I'm just like overwhelmed. But yeah, I was drove 40 minutes to blow up a TV.
What were you doing at the time? Because I haven't met you yet.
Yeah,
that night.
I also have a vintage reselling business, but it was very, very small. Nothing compared to Eric at the time.
What's it called again?
Vintage Assist.
Period.
Vintage Assist.
Yeah. Sorry. Low key. Shout out to Dad. Dad helped me come up with that name. I was like, vintage something. He's like, what about Vintage Assist? I'm like, you're valid. So I just took that because, my hooping background. But yeah, I started it out during like COVID, just like around the same time as Eric. But it's because I had nothing to do.
And then how did you like transition from like just vintage reselling to what you're doing now?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do now?
What do you do now? Yeah,
explain a little bit.
What is your life?
Bro.
I am a fashion stylist, so I style nowadays. I still sell vintage. Mm-hmm. It's still like my fun networking, money grab type beat. It's cool. Like I'm not too passionate on vintage anymore.
It's a hobby, bro.
Yeah, it's more of a hobby now for sure. Definitely, I can say that. But nah, yeah. So from vintage to fashion styling, it was like honestly like a road trip. I mean, I started off vintage, and I mean that's what I told Matt and everybody when I came in. It's like, yeah, I sell vintage, and I go do flea markets and stuff like that. And then, but once I got into it, I was kind of in like a limbo of like what I want to do in like the creative field type thing. I think one night I was at the studio, her clubhouse, and Bryan was like, "Yo, bro, like, what are you trying to do?"
That sounds like me.
Yeah, like that. It's like, bro, like I think you were like reorganizing the studio.
You was reorganizing that shit all the time for what, bro? I don't know.
Not low key, bro. But yeah, I pulled up and I'm just like helping you like reorganize the place. And you're like, yeah, bro, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, dude, honestly, maybe start like a clothing brand or something like that. Just because like because I don't know, I think that was just like part of like the business mentality that I had during that time.
I was also just surrounded by it too. Because we were printing T-shirts in there all the time. And we were doing all that.
Yeah, printing T-shirts was a trip. That was something, bro.
Printing and shit.
That was like 3 in the 4 in the morning, bro.
You're just like, oh, what you trying to do? And I was like, yeah, maybe have a brand, bro. He's like, oh yeah, like we could cook up something right now. And I'm like over geeking. I'm like, what? We can't right now? Like what? Cook up something right now? So I mean, during that time, I think I had like little notes about like what I wanted the brand to be or what I wanted to do type. And then I think Bryan just hopped on Photoshop. Like, yeah, you ever heard of
very Americana vintage pinup girls from like the. I don't know. We'll maybe put up a picture or something.
Yeah,
it's easier to see than explain.
And he's like, yeah, I can fuck those. And I'm just like, yeah, for sure. and he slapped it on Photoshop, and we got it printed out, and burnt the screen and like made the first shirt like that night.
Yeah, we did that in like a couple hours.
Yeah, which was crazy. And I was geeking because I never did that. Like I didn't know how to do any of that.
You know what's crazy? It was misspelled.
I think so. Oh yeah, I think it was. Oh my god. It was one. I think it was like experimental or experiment or something.
Yeah,
it was a long word.
It was spelled wrong.
He misspelled it, and I was like, I was selling those T-shirts. Yeah. So after we made that tee, and I was like, I just started making them. And we just like cranked out. What was it, the only one? Yeah, we made that in like black and white. Made that in black and white, and then I was at the second Gallery Stills event at VH.
What was the brand called?
Yeah,
Shout out. What was the brand called?
It's a dead brand.
Just say it, dude. Just say the name, bro.
dead
Come
brand.
on. I went from vintage hype to fucking neighborhood market. What was the name, bro? This is our uprising, right? What was the motherfucking name? Just say it.
It was called DHT.
Ayo! Ayo!
But yeah, dead brand now. It was during the time where Bryan was starting up Gallery Stills, where he turned it into a clothing brand, and I'm just like, shit. It was like my 3rd month out there, so I was like, fuck it. And then Bryan was putting together a shoot. It was his first photo shoot, Iron Hills.
Oh, I remember
Golden
that.
Iron Hills.
That felt like so
long ago, like a
No, it didn't even
lifetime
feel
ago.
like that long ago. That's the thing, but
That shit felt like 3 eternities ago, bro.
for real?
To me, it does.
Swear to God, you wear that shirt all the time.
Shit, I still have it. But it was the Iron Hills shoot, and shit, that was when you was at the Long Beach crib, and I was kicking it there all the
Oh
time.
yeah, this is where we used to live at our crib.
Oh God,
Eating
but
all their food and shit.
bro, I was cooking. Yeah, that's how I quit my job though. My restaurant job.
The one you worked for like a month.
Yeah, bro. So if y'all didn't know, I worked at Murigame up in South Coast Plaza for like a month. And then one night, I was at their crib. I worked the next day, I opened. They were playing what? Y'all was playing 2K?
Probably.
Yeah, like they was just playing 2K, him and Donnie. And it's like after every game, they're like, just stay for another one. I was like, all right. And then after like the 4th time, but it was like 5 a.m. So I went home after that, slept till like 7, and had to get up and go to work. Yeah, I quit within the hour. I walked in there, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I walked up to the manager, I was like, yeah, I'm done. And she's like, oh, you wanna like, cut back hours? I was like, nah. Yeah, back to that. Iron Hills, yeah. So he was like, oh, you wanna style it? And I was like, okay. Because before, like, I was like, into clothing, and I liked clothing. I like, of course, I like dressing myself, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna see how this, turns out. So he was like, yeah, bro, just style my first collection, and I was like, I'm like, bet. He still showed me the ropes, like, you can just put together mood boards and contact the models and see what they have, like, what they can bring. And yeah, that was like the beginning of like, I was like kind of styling, but not really. Mm-hmm. I think at the time I still had my brand. So I was just like going back and forth, but I was like dipping my toes into styling and like, putting together outfits and stuff like that.
I feel like your version of styling is not really like straight though. It's a little bit more different than that, right?
Now, definitely now. I think I grew out of the street. That's why I kind of say like I'm like vintage is now like a hobby to me because I grew out of like vintage and I grew out of like streetwear. I mean, I still take big components of streetwear. Like I still love and appreciate streetwear, but I think now I've kind of like I want to head to a more like I want to say luxury, but like more high fashion, and really see what I can do in like that realm of things.
And do you think kind of like elevating like your style of doing what you do now, has that like, how do I say it, kind of like taught you more about like the fashion industry and have more of an appreciation for it? Or like how do you think it has like changed your perspective on fashion?
Definitely. I think what really changed my perception on clothing and fashion was when I learned how to sew. So that brings it back to the runway that we threw.
Was it the one in LA?
Yeah.
Right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Fabrication.
Yeah, fabrication. So that's a whole nother. That's where like I kind of took styling serious, and when I got there, I was like, like, I mean, I'm kind of broke. I don't got enough money to like, I don't even know like how to get stuff manufactured and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sew myself. And like I had a boy who like knows how to sew. Shout out Perk. And then he just pulled up to the studio one day and like really taught me the ropes and like how to sew. Like I think the first thing I made was like a pocket. It was just like a random pocket. I put a pen in it. I'm like, yeah, I made a pocket.
You was hype, huh?
When I was speaking, I'm like,
What do you like? Just like
you'll see the
patches
pictures right
together?
here, bro. The picture's right here. It was like, I literally just made a pocket. I put a pencil in, and I'm like, I made a pocket. It was so dumb. But just like learning how to sew and like going through that process, I think really made me value clothing. Like, you know, just like what it takes to like go into like making a t-shirt, a sweater, pants, denim, like anything in that realm. It's like I think I learned how to value a lot more after going through that, definitely.
I mean, I feel like the only person I know that styles is you, though. And I know it's probably very competitive, but can you, like, kind of explain, like, how actually competitive it is, though, to, like, be a stylist?
To the help of TikTok and social media, I think the styling has been used a lot, and it's been like well brought in. Yeah, a bit saturated. But it's like no hate to the game. It's like styling. It's like, yeah, like put together outfit. Like, yeah, you styled it. But I think for me, it's like I think taking it to the next level in terms of that. It's like I think nowadays people can say they're a stylist or they style. Because like you technically you can't, you know, you put on an outfit and like, you know, the way you style that the t-shirt, the way you style that bag, it's like, you know, technically, you know, you can call yourself a stylist. But I think when it gets to like when you get deeper into the field, to the industry, it's like it gets a lot more meaningful and it gets more difficult, really. Like a lot of baggage comes with styling or stylists, because like just working with clients.
Politics.
Yeah, that's so big.
What's like the learning process to become a stylist? Because like a lot of people, like you kind of just don't know.
Because you can't just like one day I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna be a stylist.
You can't go to school for it, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask because like on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok a lot, and I see a lot of like micro influencers or influencers like putting like, oh, like fits of the week, or like this is my fit and the details, right? But it's like the same cookie cutter things I see though. So it's like what differentiates. Obviously, you know more about the texture of clothes and like you appreciate the quality of clothes, but then it's like how do you learn by like looking at something and you're like, this will go with this for sure?
I mean, you really don't know. I think it's like what I say, or what my biggest styling tip to people that like, you know, try to get or try to learn how to dress or whatever, is I'm like, just try it on. No matter what it is, it's like if you think it doesn't fit, if you think it does fit, if you think it's too big, just put it on. Because that's how I learned how to dress myself. No one really taught me like how to dress, really. I mean, of course I was watching TikTok. Of course I was like, you know, pulling from social media. But it's like, in terms of like really putting it together like an outfit or just dressing myself, I would thrift a lot. You know, shout out to vintage, because that's what helped me, you know, learn clothes and get used to it. So I would go thrifting a lot, and like at the thrift stores, but I would just throw stuff on. I would just throw stuff on, and then, you know, see what goes with what, see what pants fit, see, you know, how tops fit, like, you know, how they flow, how they like, you know, button up, whatever. Like just all little minuscule things, and I'll pay attention to the details of stuff, and then, but from there, like I'll just, you know, the more places you go, the more clothes you see, you kind of get a feel like how stuff will fit, and it's like kind of like a little bit of like intuition, like, oh, I think that would fit you, I think that would look good on you.
So it's a lot of like trial and error.
A bunch of trial.
Is the styling process kind of the same when you style like girls versus like guys?
Yeah. Because that's what so in the styling world, that's what we call fittings. We have fittings. So fittings is basically just a day that's just like designated for the talent or the client to just try on a bunch of clothes.
See what works, see what doesn't work.
So it's like either you just pull a bunch and then you have racks full of clothing and you just be like, yo, try this on. Usually stylists will have like their main picks, or they'll go through and be like, I like this, I like this, I like this. And those are like the main looks. But then there's times where you be playing with like this top and this bottom from this set, and then from that set you'll mix and match and see like what you can build. And that's really based on your own creativity and like your own process. So like that's where you can be creative and be artful and like just like really play with clothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot of trial and error for sure.
Because I'm still pretty new to fashion, but I've always been like interested by it. But sometimes I really just don't get it. Like sometimes like no, because like people are like, oh, like this is like a fire outfit. But I'm like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like I see like a guy being like styled in like a plaid skirt and like leggings and like expensive ass shoes, and I was like, okay, period. And or like I kind of like watched this video where how they dressed people or like models back in like the day for like Dior or like Chanel, right? And it looks so good, but now it's like who's styling them now, and like why has that changed so much over the years? You feel me? Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the fashion world, it's always on like a cycle. Like a lot of stuff repeats and a lot of stuff comes back, and then the stuff now will come out of trend. It's always a trend. So the trend is like just like basically like a big hamster wheel. Like it just keeps going and going, and like you'll see stuff that like wasn't popping before but come back, and you see that
That's
what's
true.
popping now will just leave.
Like the baggy funny pants.
Yeah,
the shoes.
yeah.
The shoes.
I remember, like everyone started wearing like Stan Smiths again,
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
one
that was an
year?
era.
and then there was a year where everyone started wearing like the NMDs and like the CDGs.
Hey yo, I had all those shoes.
Low key, that was like, but, like
Yeah.
Guilty.
So it always repeats. I feel like. I mean, I think style and fashion is very subjective.
very broad.
Super.
It can take it any direction you want.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But the thing is, like, you bring your own uniqueness to it. I think that's what's really good about the fashion industry per se. It's like, yeah, like, I mean, you don't have to go with the trends. You don't have to go with what people think is cool and popular. Like, dress how you want to dress. Like, dress who you like. Express yourself through your clothing and whatnot. And it's like, be different. I feel like that's like the biggest thing. Like for me now, I don't try to go out there and like get like the most popping brands. Like I'll try to get like the sleepers or whatever I think that's like that fits me and stuff like that. So it's like you pick and choose what you wear. You pick and choose like what you talk about and like what you like. So it's like
I think it's cool that you know how to sew though. So like, have you ever thought about like upcycling?
I mean I kind of did.
That's basically what the
Right?
The runway.
was.
Okay, because
yeah.
I'm trying to upcycle because I think it's cool to just like have a piece where it's like it's one of one. That's why like I go thrifting at like flea markets with you, right? Because you can just find something that you can't really find anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't go walk into Urban Outfitters.
You know,
and find the
it's
same
such
outfit.
an ick when you like pull up in an outfit and you think it's fire, and then someone pulls up in the same exact outfit, and
That,
they're
oh
like,
my
happened to me.
God.
that's why I feel like people upcycle, and that's why I want to get into it too.
That happened to me. That's why I got into vintage. That happened to me.
It's so embarrassing.
It is, it's like an uncomfortable feeling that you can't really explain.
I walked into a club one time wearing the same shirt as this other motherfucker, and I was like, "Damn, bro!" And we made a joke like, "Oh, ha ha ha!" But that shit was embarrassing. Like, I was so sad, bro. Like, fuck, dude.
It's like, what do you do?
That shit was from Urban Outfitters too, man.
It's
Damn.
true though. It's true. Like my real like villain arc was I was
Villain
like
arc.
before all this, before I got into vintage, I was shopping at PacSun's fucking what it was
Zoomies.
Tilly's. Like I was shopping at all these places, right? Wearing them tights, wearing those like t-shirts, and I bought this one t-shirt, her long sleeve from PacSun. It was the White Man Can't Jump, like graphics, just like purple. God, I don't know why it was purple, but I wore that to like this like. So I was at Long Beach State, and we had like this like I think it's called like Smorgasbord or something. It was like basically like a
Food festival.
Big ass
Oh wait,
food.
isn't there one in LA?
not
The
Smorgasbord.
one at the row, right?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe it's not Smorgasbord. It's something like that was done on campus though.
Okay.
Food related.
Something, yeah. It was like just like club and shit.
Okay.
And I was wearing that shirt, and I was walking by, and I see a group of kids like
Some
just
dude clowned you?
walk like
Good night.
past me, her towards me, and he was like, "Yo, you got that from PacSun, huh?" And I was so embarrassed, bro. Like I kept it pushing. I didn't even looked back. I heard it, and I was just like, "There's no way, right? There's no way." And I was like, from there on, I was like, "You know what, bro? Maybe I should get into vintage or something, People like, cause
No, yeah.
no one got this shirt type.
No,
I was
for
like, bro.
No, for me it was college. Like remember like 2020, like 18, 2019, every Asian girl Riverside wore the same fucking thing. It was like the tube top and like the Paxton like booty shorts.
Half of them still be wearing that today.
Bruh. And like the old school
Respect.
Vans, and I was like, no, hey, but like that was not it. So I was like, never mind. I'm gonna get into like thrifting, so like no one can wear what I'm wearing. Cause you look the same as like every other person.
And you can find something very like unique and just different
sure. than,
than like just literally something you can buy at PacSun. And back in the day, that was when like you'd be like finding Stussy for retail at like your PacSun or Tilly's,
Borders.
Oh, yeah, Stussy was
Borders.
up.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. They're on the come up right now.
Wait, then I want to ask you, how did you feel about like the hypebeast era? Remember like the anti-social social club era?
Hey.
I'm proud to say I never owned like a
something to say
hoodie by
about
the.
that?
I'm gonna keep my opinion.
Wait, no, let's talk about it real quick. Because there was that whole like 5 years where it was just all just brands. Like everyone wanted a Babe hoodie, everyone wanted
Diamond.
an anti-social.
Diamond, bro.
Yeah.
We have what?
Velo.
Rip and Dip? Was that part of that era too? Rip and Dip?
The hundreds, fucking.
But I feel like is that really fashion though, or just wearing it for the name or the brand, right?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Because like I would see people wear like a Babe hoodie, but there'd be like an off-white belt and then just like Stussy pants.
Mixing as brands.
And I'll be like, this is fashion? I don't fuck with it, low key. No. Respectfully.
But I think it goes back to like fashion is very subjective, you know, like people wear whatever the fuck they want.
I think
like,
it goes back to what Bryan said. It's like, it's just trends.
It's a trend.
It was just a trend during that time. What's the trend now? Baggy bottoms, crop tees.
I feel like now it's like for girls like Y2K, and then for guys it's like parachute pants.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. And then for the girls now it's like everyone wears loafers now. But it wasn't that like a trend back then.
But I also think like celebrities play a big role in all this too.
That's true.
Celebrities play a
It's the
big
fucking
role.
Illuminati, dog. Fucking dude,
Cut that,
selling
cut
it,
Yeah,
bro.
cancel that.
Oh, really?
Demonetized.
Damn, bro.
You know, so I think celebrities play a big role in like endorsing trends. Like,
SGA,
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Russell, Honor the Gift,
ASAP.
in-store
Honor the
neighborhood
gift.
market.
Hey, yo, shout out Russell Westbrook.
Come through,
You know
bro.
what's crazy though? The brand I follow called Rebalance Vintage on Instagram. But like Justin Bieber goes there a lot. So I'm just like, so that's how their brand popped off was because of him. I'm like, that's crazy. Like how influencers have such a big impact on like trend-setting clothes.
Even
There's a lot of followers,
Yeah.
not a lot of leaders.
Okay.
My question to everyone is because we're all business owners, right? Technically, like, Jaclyn, tell them what you do real quick.
Oh no, I just I don't want to talk anymore. I don't try to talk.
All right, baby girl, speak your piece.
Well, I am basically reaching my 2 years of being an esthetician. So
For those that don't know what it is.
oh, esthetician. Right now I specifically do lashing and OC. I do it in the back here.
Neighborhood,
shop.
we're doing everything here at neighborhood. Everything. Everything.
Vintage street wearing lashes.
Lashes, bitches. Come on, get your lashes,
For
get your
real.
vintage. What's up? Get everything.
I mean, I started because like I hate working 9 to 5s, and I think most of the jobs I work was like customer service jobs, and I hated it. I fucking hated it so much. And I was like, what if I just start just doing my own business and see what I like doing? And then at first I was actually gonna become a tattoo apprentice, but I can't draw for shit though.
I felt that.
Yeah, not for real. And then it's
I'm
like,
not creative.
no, it's because I actually worked at a tattoo shop back in '66 too. Like, and I was homies with like an apprentice. It takes years for you to like graduate, and during that time of apprenticeship, you don't get paid for nothing. So I was like, nah, I need money now. But no, yeah, that's why I started doing lashes, and that gave me like the confidence to start pursuing other things. Like right now, I'm like reselling vintage too now, which is something that I never thought of doing. So
What's your brand called?
mine's called ethereostudios.oc. Yeah, but it's crazy. I try to be different, but then I got super sad when someone's brand's called ethereostudios.la, and I was a clothing brand. And I was like, fuck. But it's too late now. It's too late now.
All right.
But-
Anyways, I guess like with that being said, as we're all like business owners, what do you guys think is like one of the hardest things to do, or kind of go through every day as a business owner?
Should we start from him?
Yeah, let's
start
No, wait, let's start with.
Let's go this way.
I think the first year that I did lashing was like I know you're not supposed to do it, like comparing yourself to like people that's been in the game like longer than you have, and so you can't help but do it because it's like, it's like they're so much better than me type B. But then I kind of learned where it's like it's not fair to yourself because it's like you're just stumping your own growth by comparing yourself to other people. And it's also like consistency is like something that's super hard too, because you go through like these periods of like where you kind of want to give up, or like you're kind of like rethinking like your life choice, like am I doing something that's actually right for me? But I mean, I think gratefully I have the mindset of like I'm not gonna give up on anything. I just like set my mind to. So but for sure it's like comparing and then just going through those creative blocks of like, am I doing the right thing for me? For sure. No, because like especially in OC, there's like every corner is a lash tech, right? So it's super hard for like to get clients, but I respect that like clients are a lot loyal here in OC, but it's for sure like super difficult to get your name out
Is it
there.
like super saturated out here?
Super saturated for
Compared to
sure.
LA?
That's why I was like comparing. That's why I was like considering like opening up a studio like between 626 and OC, like kind of like Hacienda, the Harper Rowland Heights area, because there's not a lot of like girls out there. But then again, I was just like, I'm gonna just expand my services then. because I'm like thinking about doing brows.
I think Fullerton's a really good area though, because I think a lot of your client base from 66. So like the drive from 66 to here is like what 30 minutes. That's not bad.
Bitches don't want to drive.
How long did you used to drive for your brows?
Okay, low
Your
key
lashes and your nails?
for me, driving was not an issue for me. I used to be in 66, and I would drive to Anaheim, Fullerton to get my lashes done, but I wouldn't complain about it. You feel me?
Get your lashes done.
Yeah.
lashes.
But like, so I don't know. But I mean, I'm like, instead of just like moving, I'm just thinking about just expanding my services for sure.
I think one of the hardest things for me is, well, you guys know I've been through a couple of different business adventures. But I think the hardest thing for me though was kind of honing down on what I really want to do. I think during that time of like clubhouse photography, gallery stills, and doing film stuff, like I think the hardest thing was just trying to figure out what really sticks with me. But I also think because I was super young, you know, when you're super young, you want to just explore and figure stuff out.
Definitely.
I think it was that era where I was just experimenting and kind of beating myself up for not sticking all like my 100% effort into one thing. That was the hardest part for me, but I think I've pretty much found what I want to do, which is like clothing, gallery stills, GS. But just off the top of my head, that's the one hardest thing for me, just figuring out what I really wanted to do.
Fire.
What about you?
Shit. For me, I think it's like the discipline. Just the discipline on to really, like, every day just, like, really work on what you really do. Like, they're, like you were saying earlier, like, having creative blocks and, like, being, like, not motivated to do stuff sometimes just because, like, you either, I don't know, just not feeling that day or you see something that just, like, throws you off your track. I still have trouble with it, to this day.
All of us.
I feel like just
Sure.
really like doing what you're supposed to be doing to get to that next level or just get you in the right positions or doors to really achieve what you're set out to achieve. I mean, yeah.
I think it's harder for us too as business owners because the money we know don't always come in.
It's very unstable. Like, people think
Yeah.
it's so easy. Like, I own a
Social
business, my
media.
money's good. Like,
Social media makes everything so easy. Like, it's really not.
It's all
It's
glam.
fucking tough. Nah.
it's also super hard to push out content because I have to push out content to just let people know that I'm here. But like sometimes my content doesn't get like the interactions that I want. But it's also because so many people are doing like the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like people have such like short attention spans now, so it's like
True.
they're
Fucking
very
TikTok.
TikTok.
Nah,
TikTok's
for
the root of it all,
sure,
bro.
Well,
like,
for the Tic Tac shit.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like going off of what Bryan said, staying disciplined. I think, I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. We're literally in a week or two, we're hitting our 3-year anniversary since opening our
When's the
doors.
anniversary actually? I don't know.
December
December
18th.
18th.
yeah.
December 18th was the 3-year mark, so it's crazy.
I might be in Vegas.
Wait, what'd you
You
say?
might be what?
Vegas?
You might be what?
Yeah, I'm here supporting you.
We got a subtitle what he said.
Little
I'm stepping
asterisk.
away, man.
Honestly, like it's been tough. I mean, everyone's been there through the ups and downs, especially Jaclyn. Like, sorry, I'm stressing out right now, man, as we speak, bro. Like, shit, it's tough. I'm not even gonna cap it. Like, it's like I mentioned, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and it's like being consistent with it and like staying on the grind. Here with this place, I don't work here like every day like I used to, but for like 2 years straight, I was working here every single day, talking to customers, meeting customers and stuff like that. And there are so many points where not even just here in, Fullerton, but also in Alhambra, like I would sit there for one whole day, 6, 7, 8 hours straight with no one coming in. I think that was the hardest. Honestly, I think that was the hardest thing that I had to deal with. It was like, I felt like I was sometimes like feeling like a little depressed because I was like, damn, like all my hard work is like not going anywhere. Like I've built this place like from the ground up. This is my baby, and like to not see your hard work take you anywhere, I think was the toughest thing. And it's like like going back into it, like discipline is a big impact in it, you know, like because I've been doing that for so long, and you know I'm not seeing that consistent, you know, traffic of customers coming in, just checking out our shop, you know, knowing about us, you know, it makes you want to quit. You know, I think and it's safe to say that for all of us, there's so many points in our careers, in our paths, like that we just want to fucking quit because it's so fucking hard, and like quitting is the easiest thing to do. You know, it's so easy to quit, but it's the hardest thing to like build your own success. And I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've been consistent here and there, and I'm being honest, you know, I haven't been consistent here and there, you know, in the last year and a half, you know, and I've been hosting events and stuff like that, but at the same time I work another full-time job out of, you know, running the store, so it takes a lot of my energy. And I think, what is it, before we did the remodel like 2-3 months ago, had a deep talk with like everyone in terms of like what I wanted to do, because I was hosting like flea markets like twice a month, and
That was rough.
you guys were there through it all, and you guys saw like running a flea market and doing it twice a week, and like trying to run a store, like that was tough, you know. And I had a lot of good talks with a lot of people, and you know, like just trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. Just really being focused, you know, because like I was doing so many different things, like pop-ups, car meets, fucking flea markets, fucking the store, you know, working another 40-50 hours a week in another place, you know, like it got to me. Like I was working so fucking much, you know, like that's been my life for the last 3 years, and you know, you can confidently say that like we've just been strictly on the grind and when working.
That's our life, just work.
And it's tough, but like for us, our mentality is like we rather work when we're young and hustle when we got the energy than when we're older. So like I wouldn't have it any other way, you know. Like I would continue going through the trenches for this place, you know, like
Trenches.
you know, no matter how hard it gets, you know, for us, I think we're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know. And we've been doing it for so long. It's like
What other choice we got, bro?
we really don't, man. Like,
It's over.
but that's like we're really passionate about it, and that's another follow-up question I have. You know, what separates passion into what you guys want to do? You know, like how do you know if like passion is gonna run out, and like are you gonna be happy doing what you guys are doing right now?
I mean, I feel like for me,
Go
not about the passion part.
Yeah.
I think for me it was like before all this, I was a hooper, bro. You know, hoop dream.
Ball is life, bro.
Ball is live. I was gonna make the league.
Shout out Polar Bears back. Nah.
What the hell is polar
It
bears?
was our basketball team.
And we started the cooking at the end.
We did alright. We did
Low-key,
alright.
low-key.
Let me play ball with you guys again.
Yeah, leading off from that, I mean, shit. Yeah, I think I was like, that's where like that's the only passion I really had back in like high school type. It was like I was just hooping, and like kind of going towards or into college and like COVID, and then when I started like the vintage thing, I think I started the vintage thing out of like pure like I'm a businessman, I'm a hustle, I'm gonna make bread, and I can flip this under that, like, you know, I'm gonna be real, like straight up, like, you know, I buy stuff, you know, sell for more type. It's like the bare minimum of like business. But when I like met Matt, Bryan, Eric, Jaclyn, Dylan, Donnie, like everybody, I kind of like formed a new passion. Like I enjoy being here, you know. I would drive out an hour, 2 hours, sit through traffic and be here with y'all and like really like learn this stuff and like, you know, get to know what this field is and what it has to offer. And I think that's like during that time I was like, I think I found my new passion. I think I found what excites me or what I'm like, you know, willing to like sacrifice to do. Cause I was going through like a limbo during COVID and like my first 2 years of college. I was like, what am I doing, bro? Like,
Same.
I'm working my first job, just like, you know, restaurant, cooking, like whatever. It's like, I'm like, damn, this is cool. I'm making money, but what is more to it than just money?
No,
And when I got into this, like, bro, I'm doing shit for free and I'm loving it. Like, it's crazy. But, you know, money plays a big part. But, like, you know, I would love to do shit for money all the time.
Money talks.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like,
Real the bag sometimes.
yeah, don't get me wrong, but it's like, me willing to just do stuff for free. And, like, I'm okay with it. And just, like, you know, losing money at that point, it's like, yeah, I know I like this. And I know I'm passionate about this. So that's where I kind of, like, figured out, like, where my passion came from and, like, how it's, like, driving me for sure.
I mean, for me, yeah, I mean, kind of same stories, right? Grew up hooping, just playing sports a lot, travel ball and all that. But once I knew I wasn't making it, you know, all hell. But yeah, I was hooping. That was like the biggest passion of mine for years, since I was like in elementary all the way up to high school. But once I was like, yeah, I'm not making it, I'm quitting, and I quit. I guess that's when the photo came into play, and it's kind of like how I was dabbling in a whole bunch of different industries: film, photography, clothes. I feel like during the beginning, when you pick something up, right, something new up, something like fresh to you, you're like, oh, I'm passionate about this. You want to do it every day, or you know, like when Dylan and I started playing pickleball recently. It's like, oh yeah, this shit's lit. Like let's play a lot more. You get kind of passionate about it, right? But it's not like passion. You know what I'm saying?
It's just fun.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like style, like trial and error, finding out what you're truly passionate about. And for me, I had to go through like 3 different industries to figure out I want to do clothes. You know, like photo, film, and screen printing. But that's just me, just trial and error for the most part.
I think passion's like a strange like concept to me, because I think growing up, at least for me, I didn't have any passions growing up. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I liked doing. So, I mean, when I picked up lashing, like I never would I have expected to see myself lashing, for sure. Like, but I think for me, it's not so much about passion that keeps me going. It's just more my hard work ethic and where it's coming from. So it's like, it's me with the mentality of like, I'm not going to give up regardless of how hard it gets. So, but I'm learning to be passionate about other things, because from lashing, I got the confidence to be like, oh, I can be passionate about this and this and this and not feel bad about it. So I think my upbringing for sure had an impact on what I can be passionate about and what I shouldn't be, but I'm definitely more open to like just being a passionate person about what I want to be passionate about. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah. But then I actually did have a question for that too, or just like following up is like, I think all of us like went through a time where we wanted to give up on our crafts at one point, but it's like, what's like the one thing that keeps you going for sure?
I think for me, like family. I think because I grew up poor. I mean, we all grew up poor. We all grew up broke, you know, like,
66,
you know, but that's just an excuse, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But like, I think the biggest part of it is like, just for me, like, I was raised by a single mother, you know, and my mom was one of the strongest persons I've ever known, you know, and seeing her support me, you know, kind of really lit a fire in me, you know, to want to really be successful, to take care of her, you know. I think that's the ultimate goal for a lot of us, to be able to take care of our family, move out of the fucking trenches and fucking to a nice neighborhood, you know. But I think that really stopped me from giving up and really having like a strong support system, you know, people that like really genuinely cared about you and not want you to like fail, you know. And it's safe to say like we've all done free work for each other. You know, we've all been there for each other throughout this whole process, you know, trying to help each other out wherever it's at. I think that's one of the biggest things that stopped me from quitting. And, you know, what's that saying? It's like, you know, you really want to surround yourself with people that are like-minded, or else if you kind of hang out with losers, you're going to be a loser. Like being real, like, I'm being real. Like, I'm being real.
Yeah.
I mean, I hang out with you guys, so you guys are not losers, so...
That's crazy.
What are you trying to say, bro?
But, you know, I think that's a big part of it for me personally, you know, family, you know, being able to take care of my family.
So I think, well, for me, I think it's like, it's kind of corny. Shit.
Say it, bro. Say it.
It's like, so I started this journey, I started this whole thing was like, you know, didn't know much. I mean, my parents don't even know what I kind of do. I kind of try to explain it, you know.
You dress people?
I'll tell them in like straight V. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to work with clothes. They'll be like, okay. They still think I sell vintage. So to this day, they still think I sell vintage, and like they support that, which is cool.
Well, they didn't question you, like, why are you going to New York to sell vintage clothes? They didn't question you.
Nah, they're just like at that point, I think they kind of knew like I had like, 'cause I showed them my portfolio recently, and they're like, oh, this is cool, you know. So they kind of get a picture of what it is, but not to like a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
But what like really, you know, helps me like to like not give up and like, you know, push me to not to give up is the homies, real shit. Like,
That's love, bro.
cause it's like I feel like with all y'all, like all the homies, like, you know, y'all believe in me and y'all have helped me get here.
Brotherhood,
neighborhood, bro. Real shit. Like, you know, community shit, brotherhood shit. Like, it's like I feel like y'all put so much of your time into helping me figure out what I want to do and get to where I'm at. So it's like, I think it's like, you know, and seeing y'all grind so hard every day really pushes me to, like, you know, like, nah, bro, keep going. Like, y'all, we're all finna make it out. We're all finna be on set together one day, some big budget set. Like, you know, you don't know, because I've sat here and, like, I've talked about stuff and then, you know, not knowing it, like, I won't be there or end up there. You know, you kind of manifest it type. And it's like, and I've been in the situation where it's like I've talked about it and I've done it. So it kind of opened my eyes to, like, all the possibilities. So I mean, like, with me, it's like I said, you guys all, like, help grow me and help teach me the ropes and everything. And it's like I think I owe it to you guys to not give up on it and just let all your efforts go to waste. So I keep at it and I keep going.
I have not heard you be this soft, like, ever. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Doing, bro?
I did not know that.
This is, bro.
Ooh, Bryan.
Yeah, in a way, kind of same for me too. Like with Ryan, bouncing off of what he said. Like, honestly, I don't know how much. If I didn't have, like, you guys around me early in my career and, like, creative adventure, I'd probably be in school, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I would keep at it, shooting photos for a living. Like, it sounds goofy when I tell my family, like, oh, I make, like, clothes for. They're like, oh, how's your t-shirt brand doing? I'm like, bro, come on, it's not just
You brought them to the shop, though.
Huh?
You brought them to the shop, though.
Minus my mom, she understands, you know, a little, to an extent, but
like immigrant
you know,
parents.
like my grandparents,
crazy.
like, you know, the older heads, they're like, why the hell is my grandkid selling t-shirts for a living? Like, how far is that gonna get you, you know?
They don't understand.
In my head, I'm always like, man, what the fuck? It's more than t-shirts, grandpa. But, you know, it's like they're not gonna get it, you know, which is like respectable. It's fine. But I think the biggest thing for me was I feel like I had, like, a different way that I kind of perceived the world and kind of just the things around me, and I didn't want to let that go to waste. I think once I picked up photography, I was like, well, I'm looking at, like, life probably in a different way than some of my peers are. And I didn't want to let that, like, vision go to waste. So I think that's the one thing that's kept me pushing. Entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, you know?
No, it's really not.
The shit we do isn't for everyone. Not everyone can run a store. Not everyone can style people. Not everyone can, you know, everything. Just,
And to be persistent at it, you know, honestly.
Yeah, like,
that's
it's
the hardest part.
A lot of people aren't built to be their own boss, which is fine. But I felt like I could, and I didn't want to, like, let that go to waste, and, like, some of the talents that I have personally. So it's a little bit of everything, like you guys have talked about so far. What about you, though?
For sure. I mean, definitely me is for my mom, because I grew up with a single mom, so it was really tough on, like, our living situation, and just seeing her and just, like, how strong she was, like, after everything she's been through, it kind of motivates me to be the person she expects me to be, if not more, and just give back to her and my little bro for show. And then it's also for my dad, because he was a hustler from, like, beginning to end, so, like, I just want to make him proud too. And it's also, like, it's kind of, like, fucked, but it's, like, a different reason. Like, I come from a very, like, a traditional Korean family, right? So, like, they expected me to be a doctor. Like, they had my whole life, like, set out for me. So I was supposed to go to, like, this school and just go to grad school and become a doctor and stuff. So, like, dead ass, when I started lashing, they did not talk to me for a full year, because they were like, oh, like, you're never gonna succeed as, like, your own business owner. Like, what is that? Right? So I think a part of that is, like, for me not to give up is to, like, prove them wrong.
Hey, but now the entrepreneurship runs in the family. Your mom.
I mean, no, but it's crazy though. No, like, we're considered the black sheeps of the family, because my brother, like, my immediate family, like, my father was a film director, right? My mom was a makeup artist.
What?
And that's how they met.
Your mom?
My mom was a makeup artist, but now she owns a tea brand called Infinity. So,
Shout out.
and then shout out.
Like, your immediate family, like your mom.
We're all creatives.
supported that.
Yeah, so
Okay, cool.
they support him. My brother's a music producer, like,
Facts, yeah.
you feel me? Like, he was gonna go to school like me, but he was like, nah, like, fuck it. You know? And he's the one that actually pushed me, like, do something that you want to do. Don't do what everyone else is doing.
Shout out, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. So it's for them, to be honest. And it's also, like, I have better friends now. Like, through doing, like, this, it's like I found, like, better people, for sure. And it's like when you surround yourself with better people with better energy, it's like you want to do better too.
Mm-hmm. Would you guys say that you guys are happy in what you guys are doing in your current state? You know, I think we're at this stage where none of us have made it yet, you know, and we want to get to that level. But are we happy and content to where we are?
Nah.
Well, let's be real. You know?
I'm like,
I think happiness is a tough word.
I don't know
Not
about
key.
happy, bro, and content either. I feel like I ain't do shit.
No, real shit though.
I don't think I ain't do shit yet.
No, not
Me
gonna
neither.
lie. Like I've been burnt the fuck out. Because right now, like, cause I work a full-time job too, and it's like 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours. Then I book it straight here to like stack my lash appointments, and then I do the same shit like the next day.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're doing this shit,
Yeah.
you're never happy.
Yeah. But it's I would rather do this than just go to school. Though.
yeah. Like this is the struggle for real.
No, like
I've been
Yeah.
grinding.
like lay it down for real. Like it's
We with
tough. It's tough.
Honestly.
Come join depression.
Yeah. Join depression.
Fuck.
Fucking Nick and coffee for breakfast for real.
Bro, I don't even
Really,
eat
really
at this point.
grinding,
Yeah.
out here, dude.
yeah.
But it's like we're not content or happy, but it's like we see it there
The
though.
potential
Yeah.
to be happy.
So that's what we're working towards.
I think for me, shit, I don't got the most money. Like, I don't know, we not all there.
We
you know,
dying
We
out
not. We want to be millionaires. We want to be
Drowning in
generational
debt,
wealth.
bro. I'm drowning.
broke
dog.
bitch for real.
I'm- That's me, dog. Please buy a shirt. Please buy a t-shirt, guys.
Bro, clip this.
Get your lashes up, like.
That's the new GS ad, bro.
We're gonna post that.
I may not be the richest man, but I think I can say that I'm content and happy. I'm not successful yet, so I'm not like happy, but I'm content and happy because I have the privilege to still do what I want to do right now.
Okay.
Like I'm not forced
That's
to,
true.
have to go back to school or that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I also work another day job too. Shout out the kids.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa, way yo.
Let's give some
relax.
context.
Yeah,
So you know.
Sorry.
Yeah, they told us that
do,
little-
bro.
I
that's a
coach
little-
middle school basketball.
Bye. Yeah, we love that. We love that.
And like getting to know them, like it's my first like year coaching a school team, so it's I'm learning a lot from like my players, and they kind of hold it down. They kind of give me that like reality check, like yo, you gotta keep pursuing what you want to do. Like they be telling me that,
Yeah, that's kind of
and I'm
sick.
like, and then I'm like, you better go hoop, chase your hoop dreams, because a lot of these little Asian kids trying to be hoopers.
Yeah, bro.
So,
What's the team record right now?
oh, shit.
Say it, bro. Just say it.
We're 0-2 right now.
0-2.
Hey,
we
You're
gotta get
defeatable right now.
Bro, they're watching,
They're
bro.
defeatable.
They're watching.
They're not undefeated.
The kids are watching right now, bro.
It's cool,
Nah,
dude.
we're getting
Tough
our bounce
love,
back
dog.
games Wednesday and Thursday for sure.
You got games Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah, we be,
Let's
and
get
they're
it-
home games, so.
Let's get it to 500, man.
But yeah, they kind of like hold it down, They kind of bounce back the love that I try to give
That's
them.
lit.
So I'm content and happy. Might not be the most successful or richest person yet, but I'm glad to be able to still do what I do.
That's true.
I feel like I kept following up with that one. I feel like it's more I'm grateful more than anything than content or happy. Yeah. Like no, it's like real shit though. Like I'm grateful to be able to do what I do, like you said, and it's like I'm grateful that like I'm aware of what I'm capable of doing versus people that are like.
Yeah.
Because I talk to people at work. I talk to like my clients and stuff, and there's like a lot of people, or just everywhere that I talk to, it's like they don't know what they want to do in life, and that's like pretty scary, right? But as long as like I think for us, we know what we're doing and we know what we want to do, so it's like at least be grateful for that.
Sure, I'm grateful we get to sit in the store we all built, bro.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, as hard as it is, it's still like an experience we got to
Yeah.
get.
The
yeah.
memories. Crazy.
The hardships we'll look back at it one day.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
be like-
knock on wood, but like I think even
I don't think that's weird.
Yeah, I don't think that's what.
Yeah.
knock on wood. I mean, I think even though if like let's say it doesn't pan out, I think we're all very grateful for the experiences and trying to elevate and grow that. I don't think we're gonna stop. Like from example, if neighborhood market closes tomorrow, I'm not gonna fucking knock on wood. Let's
Manifest some positive energy out here.
like I think
manifest
I'm
positive
definitely
shit.
really grateful for the opportunity, the
Yeah.
people I met, and like I'm not gonna quit just here, like I'm gonna go at it again and go round two, like I think, yeah, but I don't think I'm happy and content at all yet. I think I can agree. I'm grateful. It's crazy to see where we are right now compared to 3 years ago.
Facts.
But there's still a lot of progress that I see myself trying to grow this place and a lot of stuff that I want to do, that I haven't accomplished. I don't think I've accomplished shit yet, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Even though I'm 25 years old and I have a store, like I don't think I've done shit. to show for. You know, I'm not like flexing it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But even though like I really like I'm inspired by people that are really successful, but they're really humble. You know, like there are so many people within the different industries that are very successful but very humble about it. You know, and yeah, I mean all the viewers are gonna watch us right now. You know, see us pretty much grow from now till next year. You know, where we're literally gonna be at next year. I think there's gonna be a lot of growth within a year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wait, did you answer?
What's the question?
He said he's depressed.
Oh yeah, you said depressed.
Oh yeah.
Go off on that, bro. Why you
content
depressed,
happy,
bro?
I mean, yeah, I think I'm just like from what y'all was saying, like y'all grateful. I think I am too. Especially, I think I relate with you a lot. Just like not being or not having to like really like be in a situation where I'm like
Forced to.
forced to do what I need to do to like survive. You know, I think I have a good foundation cushion per se, to be able to do what I do and be able to like, you know, go home and have a roof over my head and have food on the table, and just not like, you know, not worry about like where my next meal is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like I'm grateful to be able to do that and chase what I want to chase. So it's like, you know, I definitely relate.
For sure, for sure. Is there like a piece of advice you would all give out to to people that are watching, or like for like, because I know there's a lot of people that want to start a brand or like, you know, pursue something creative, but they're like too scared to do it or they're thinking about doing it. Like, what's a piece of advice you would give out, real quick?
I think just really being your true, genuine self. Everyone's different in their own ways. Like, let's say if someone was gonna start a vintage store down the street, it's not going to be the same as this, you know. Everyone's got to be genuine in their own way and show that and not have to like front it, you know. I think there's like with social media impacting so much of our lives, it kind of sometimes corners us, you know, like seeing, oh look, remember that time when there was like drop shipping and shit and like how easy
three steps you got
you
this.
could be a
It was
millionaire.
like 100
the
steps
fuck?
in
No,
those 3
just shut
steps.
the fuck up, bro. No, it's not like that. You fucking bum. Like fuck you. Just stop selling your fucking courses, bro. Like
That's how we,
you know,
Okay.
those are scams, bro, for sure. You know, but I think it's just really truly being your genuine self. You know, I've been doing this for 3 years and I've met a lot of people, and you know, I'm grateful to have met a lot of people, but at the same time, there's some people that I wish I never met, you know, like, and because they just weren't genuine, if I'm being honest and real, you know. But just being yourself and like doing what you're passionate in goes a long way. Because then, like, again, going back to the question I asked, you know, at what point does passion kind of dry out? You know, you really have to be truly yourself, genuinely, or else like you're not gonna be happy or content with whatever you're doing if you're just fronting it, you know. Like whether it's like pushing out your t-shirt designs, you got to be proud of that shit, you know, like, yeah.
Shit, I think for me, some advice is like just do it.
Nike.
Yeah, bro.
Nike?
Like,
Sponsored by.
y'all all saw the
Yeah.
clip where Tyler Creator was like, you know, create, you know,
Oh, no,
what do you
yeah.
want to do? Create what you want to create.
Like, fuck
you know?
it.
On the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, it was like an interview like this, it was like an interview. He's just like, create what you want to create, make what you
Oh, I
want
know
to
what
make.
you're talking about. Yeah.
And it's true, bro. Like I feel like I wouldn't be here now if I just didn't just do it. Like if I just didn't say like yes to like, you know, being in the music video, if I didn't just say like, yo, I'm gonna start a vintage business, and then or like, you know, or if I didn't say like, oh, I'm gonna drive 40 minutes out to like El Monte, where I've never been in my life. Like I didn't even know where 626 was. I was like,
Oh, that's crazy.
the only thing I knew was like 626 is like, you know, 626 net market.
Yeah, no,
Like, I've
on
never
that
even
though.
been.
For real, no,
Yeah,
for
that's
real.
Like I've never even been type,
Yeah,
so I'm
for
just like, I don't even know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Not even knowing that it was the hood type. Like I was just like pulled up. So I'm like,
Fuck it, El Monte, dog.
Yeah,
Gotta
bro,
get
so,
over
like,
there.
I think the biggest
Especially
advice,
the clubhouse day,
Facts.
shit, bro. That was
got
like
broken into
sketchy.
twice.
yeah, bro. So I mean, I think that's the biggest advice I got is just like, just do it. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create, just fucking do it.
Words.
I think for me, I mean, I get a lot of people that ask me like, "Oh, how do you start a clothing brand? This and that, right?" And I'm like, I think the biggest thing I've taken away from like all the feedback I've tried to give them is like, I feel like a lot of people want to like get everything perfect and wait for the right moment to start something. But it's like you got to start just to start. Like the more you sit on it, it's not gonna work because you didn't start it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell people all the time now when they ask me like, "Oh, how do you start a clothing brand? What should I do? What are the first steps?" I used to tell them like I try to lay out like a blueprint for them, like, "Hey, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5." But now I'm just like, you know what? You just gotta start, bro. You gotta start, and then you learn as you grow. And you know, as you grow, it's not always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. It's gonna be, you're gonna have your, you know, your ups and downs. Mostly downs when you start out. The money ain't gonna come in. You're gonna have to kind of figure out how to fend for yourself out there. But you gotta start to start, and you gotta realize that shit don't happen overnight.
I think
We've been doing this, all this creative stuff for a couple of years, and we're not where we want to be yet. But you got to start. You can't lag it. You can't just sit on your ideas.
There is no perfect time to start.
The longer you sit on your ideas, someone else is going to take it.
I mean, that's the first obstacle,
Yeah.
just getting started. That was probably one of the hardest things, you know, just getting started and just trying to dip your feet into it, you know, like, what is, there's a lot of talkers, but not a lot of doers,
That's for damn sure.
so.
Fuck around and find out.
Facts.
for
But
real.
yeah,
Find out.
you just got to start and, you know, keep pushing through because, like I said, it's not sunshine and rainbows. It ain't going to happen overnight. You're going to have to do shit you don't want to do. You know, you got to do all the dirt and grind.
You can talk to all these successful ass brands and companies, you know, and I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, like they were doing it for like 10 plus years before they actually saw something come back to them, you know, and like it's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 6 months. It's going to happen over your hard work, you know, like even though it's going to take almost a fucking decade, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for me. I think for me, it was more of like, kind of like what you said, just meeting different people. You see a lot, like everyone has great ideas. There's not one person that doesn't have a great idea. But I noticed that it's like, it's either just like, one, it's like fear of like failure. Or like two is like, they have so many excuses to not do it, right? So I think like my advice would just be like, don't let like kind of fear of failure hold you back. Because for me, it's like, when you fail, you're still kind of succeeding because you're still learning something from it. And you can grow and like learn what to do better. So just don't be scared.
Preach.
But yeah.
Word.
Last questions? Thoughts?
Shit.
It was a good quote that Matt said the other day. Was it?
Oh my god, yeah. Point it
What was it?
out.
That shit was fire,
Wait,
bro.
can I say it? Or are you gonna say it? Can I say it?
Okay, say it.
Matt should come in and hop on this
What
mic.
is
Oh
it?
yeah, Matt, you
No,
want
no,
to say
Hop
like-
on the mic.
No, it can't. Should we bring him on? Should we bring him on? Or do you want me to say it?
Jump
Come
in
through,
it?
bro.
Jump in here, bro. Say it.
Red, I'm getting red.
Bro,
No, you
say it,
should say
dude.
it.
Jump in.
Or I'm gonna say it
dude.
like you,
Say
but
the
I don't
quote.
know how to
Say
Say
sound
the
like
quote. You know what I'm talking about, bro. That shit was fire, bro.
That shit,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
left
That shit-
us like, I was like, oh shit.
That was a fire
He really
ass
ate.
analogy,
He
bro.
really ate with that.
That was a fire ass.
Yeah, take
This is
over.
Matt Opena 285, guys.
Metal pen is way of 285 from the
Go.
Red open.
To the mic.
It's like
I wrote it down too.
I don't even know what you said.
I wroed it down because I was like, oh my god.
it's like
So many people want to eat.
everybody loves to eat, but nobody likes to cook.
Word, bro. That's perfect, dude. That's honestly like on God, dude. Like everyone does love to eat, but no one likes to see the fucking the hard work behind it.
Not facts. Everyone want that shit to happen overnight. It ain't gonna happen overnight.
It don't.
It does
It really
not.
don't. Like, it's not as easy as it
Let it
is.
marinate, man.
For real. Well, this is our last, or this is our first ever episode of In the Neighborhood. Welcome. We're gonna continue doing this a lot with different guests, especially with our, you know, history of and background of like starting businesses and stuff like that. You know, none of us are successful yet, but we're gonna get there. You know, I'm being real. You know, I think,
Talk
but
about
we're-
other fun things on the side.
we'll talk about anything though.
Talk
but
about anything. Real talk.
Probably
though.
cut that shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but but this is our first episode of In the Neighborhood. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you all you guys for supporting us through thick and thin. I'm your host Eric,
Jaclyn?
I'm your host Bryan.
and this
I'm
is
your guest, Ryan.
Neighborhood Market in the Neighborhood. For the community, by the community. Hey, what's up? This is your host Eric. Make sure you follow us at NBRHD.market. I am like 2-3 months behind on my rent. It's pretty tough right now. So please follow us, support us, show us some love. Yeah.
Well, I'm your other host, Bryan. Thanks for viewing and watching. We appreciate all you guys and the support. Follow Neighborhood Market. If you guys want to keep up with me, my handle is at Bryan's Mediums, and the brand is at Gallery Stills.
Okay. Make sure to check out our storefront in Fullerton. And also get your lashes done if you're a girl. At etherealstudios.oc.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Peace. Clap.